What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today, we are going to be reacting to the Barcelona news. Over the past few weeks, we've had games every other day. I've never had an opportunity to make a news video, but now we got a little bit of a break here from the young boys to the Alaves game, so we've got time to talk about the news. There's a lot, so a lot of talking from me. Timestamps are down below wherever you want to listen to, wherever you care about. We're going to be talking about everything over the past few weeks. Superstar signing that Laporta wants to do, goalkeeper acquisition, so many renewal updates, key logistic updates around Barcelona as well. The sponsorship for El Clasico confirmed, Nike design for next season confirmed, Nike deal very close. There's just updates galore on absolutely everything. So make sure you tune in and listen up for what you're interested in mainly, of course. And again, finally, one more time, timestamps are down below for what you're really interested in if you want to just, catch a couple of news. Or if you want to listen to the whole thing, you are a true legend. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already. And let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by meCarreira. meCarreira is a platform where you can invest in football players by buying shares in them, similar to buying stocks in the financial market. This means you can buy and sell shares in players you believe had the potential to increase in value. Now, the value of the player's shares go up and down depending on how many people want to buy or sell those shares, not based on their performances in matches. meCarreira also has other key features as well, like real-time market, player trading, seasonal events like for the World Cup, Euros, and Copa America, and community voting as well, where you can vote on the next player's stocks to be joined on the market. Now, have you ever been sure that a footballer will become successful? Well, now is your time to put your money where your mouth is and invest in players to prove to everyone that you have the ball knowledge that's needed in football. So what are you waiting for? Hit the top link in the description down below and check out meCarreira and invest your stocks in certain players today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past few weeks. We're first going to discuss the news in regards to Barcelona in the market to sign a new striker. Mr. Germano came out saying that Barcelona is keeping a close eye on the striker market. Of course, right now in the first team we have Lewandowski and Pau Victor as your natural nines. You have Vitor Roque on loan as well. Vitor came out saying that it's too early for Barcelona to be searching for a forward. They aren't actively working on anything right now. Lewandowski turns 37 in August. They have Vitor Roque on loan with Betis with the option to extend that as well. Depending on how things go, they may need to consider adding another number 9, and they of course have the option currently in the squad of Pau Victor. I do agree there with Mateo Brito. It is quite difficult right now to kind of predict and see if Barcelona need a striker come the summer or not, but we still are being linked with some big names. Sport came out saying that Barcelona are keeping an eye on 3 strikers right now in the market to replace Lewandowski in the future: Erling Haaland, Benjamin Sesko, and also Victor Gyökeres as well. Of course, 3 brilliant strikers. You have Sesko, who's going to be valued at around 65 million. Gyökeres is valued at around 100 million. And you have, of course, Erling Haaland at about 107 million euros. Look, if you're asking me, it's of course Erling Haaland. I think he is the kind of profile I do need. Of course, marketing wise would be world class for us. You have the Haaland versus Mbappe storyline with El Clasico as well. I think that is the one that's set in stone. I like Benjamin Sesko. Wouldn't mind him for that price as well. Gyökeres, I mean, I guess he's firing for Sporting, but I think there needs to be another step for him before making that move to Barcelona, in my opinion. Now, the reason why the striker market is heating up for Barcelona is because the president, Joan Laporta, is planning to sign a big superstar. Joaquin Pereira of Sport came out saying that Joan Laporta wants to make a big signing for the new Spotify Camp Nou. Of course, the Camp Nou should be done by 2026. Elections are coming up as well. This is prime time for Joan Laporta to make some promises and, of course, execute on them as well. This is why I think Erling Haaland fits the mold a lot as well. We haven't spent too much money over the past few years. I think for 150 million, the value is good. I think even just by marketing and advertising and sponsors, will earn us back that money easily in his first season. And again, he is a world-class striker, of course. So, I mean, we'll wait and see. I think, again, right now it really comes down to how Barcelona end the season, where Lewandowski stands, how Vitor Roque is doing with Betis, did the club even trust Pau Victor or not, maybe they want to try Ansu Fati. There's so many question marks that need to be answered before the determination of pursuing a striker. But it's quite clear that if you do want to go for a striker, and if these are the 3 main names on the list right now, Erling Haaland, without a shadow of a doubt, takes the cake easily. Now, another player that could be the superstar signing that Joan Laporta is looking for is, of course, Nico Williams, who's having a stinker in our first 2 months of the season with Athletic Club, of course, for his standards. Now, there have been a debate with even San Antonio Sport came out saying that Barcelona plan to make another attempt to sign Nico Williams next summer. The winger has agreed to join Barcelona, but only on the condition that his registration would be fully guaranteed. While the club was optimistic about resolving this without issue, they were unable to provide 100% assurity to him last summer. Again, I said this during the summer, I'll say it again, if he's available for the same price, I personally believe that Barcelona will be back in for him. I think also with Barcelona coming back in for Nico Williams, it will depend a lot on the future of Raphinha, Ansu Fati, and Ferran Torres, because right now, you could argue we don't need Nico Williams. Of course, last summer we were saying, oh, we needed a left winger, but now Raphinha is balling. You have Ansu Fati coming back. Ferran Torres is shite, do not get me wrong, but he's still part of the squad. We are still paying him. So, out of those three, honestly, I would say 2 of them have to leave for Nico Williams to become a reality. So maybe you want to get rid of Ansu Fati's wages as well. Keep in mind, Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres combined together are earning around 300,000 euros a week at Barcelona, maybe around 280,000 euros per week. You know, it's something like that you know, you have to consider when you're kind of making a big sign like this. I would still take Nico Williams at Barcelona, so I think he's a fantastic player. He's friends with half the freaking squad as well. I'd much rather have Ansu Fati succeed at Barcelona. I'd much rather have even Ferran Torres succeed at Barcelona over going out and getting Nico Williams. But again, this season will be a good determination of that. So we could be looking at, you know, 200 million transfer window, 50 million on Nico Williams, 150 on Erling Haaland. That could be your superstar signing. That could, you know, everyone excited for the Spotify Camp Nou. Keep Laporta running as the president as well. So stuff like that. We'll see how the game is being played during election time. But again, Nico Williams, still tracking him, and as long as his release clause is the same, around 60 million euros, the club will always be interested. Another player who Barcelona are keeping a close eye on is Jerdy Schouten, the pivot playing for PSV in the Netherlands. Mateo Merito came out saying that Jerdy Schouten is attracting interest in many clubs, with several regular watching him play. Barcelona's among those teams following him closely, as he is on a target of long list. However, a deal would be challenging, as PSV Eindhoven investing around 30 to 35 million euros. Premier League clubs are also tracking his progress. With how well Bernal and Casado have done at the start of the season, this for me, beyond pointless. If you're going to spend money on a pivot, you bring in a top 5 pivot that's world class. There's no need of bringing in a youngster pivot who has room to grow and stuff like that. There's no point. We have that in-house. If you want to spend on Jerdy Schouten 35 million euros, and I expect one of Casado or Bernal to leave, that's a reality. We have already an overstock in that position, whether you call it quality and natural pivot or not. That's beyond the point. There is an overstock right now in the midfield. Pedri, Gavi, Jong, Bernal, Casado, you have Pablo Torre, Dani Olmo, Christensen. That's 8 midfielders already for 3 position only. So this for me makes no sense. I think our name is just being thrown in, very similar to what happened with Max Pfeiffer. Barcelona interested from Feyenoord, Max Pfeiffer that. Then he goes to Brighton. Very similar situation here, in my opinion. I doubt we signed Jerdy Schouten based on how Bernal, of course, how he's done, how Casado has done, and how Barcelona need a world-class pivot, not another potential. Now, one of the main areas in the squad right now that's a bit weaker for Barcelona in terms of maybe depth and competition is the fullback department. And Joaquin Pereira, of course, #1 source for Brazilian players in and out of Barcelona, came out saying that Deco is closely following the AS Monaco fullbacks in Henrique and Vanderson. They've been, of course, liked by Barcelona for a few years now. Both have deals until 2027. Of course, Deco watched them play against Barcelona. Of course, Vanderson, the right back, played at left back, had a good game. I think Henrique came on with 20 minutes to go. I think they're both good players. They're not someone I would actually like to work for or anything like that. But if they're available, like when you left on their deal, have a good price, I wouldn't mind it. I really like Vanderson. I think Henrique would be the better inclusion because he's, of course, clear of Gerard Martin. I think Vanderson, I'd much rather have Hector Ford and Koundé. I don't think he's really an upgrade on either of those. Of course, you could say right now he's better than Hector Ford, but I believe in the potential of Hector Ford. So, good options here that maybe could become options in the future if they run down their contracts and maybe they have problems at Monaco. But keep your eyes on them. They are good players. And, of course, Deco is an expert on the Brazilian market as well. Now, a position that everyone in the fan base believes that Barcelona should be making moves for this summer is, of course, the goalkeeping position. Now, we have, of course, been linked with Diogo Costa as a potential replacement long-term for Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. Fernando Polo from Deportivo came out saying that Diogo Costa is the most expensive goalkeeper at Barcelona. He would be a topic if the club opts to sign a long-term goalkeeper in 2025. Deco, the technical area, the club have been following him since his long time and have a very high level of protection for him. In addition, of course, his agent is Jorge Effin Mendes. Mamardashvili was another goalkeeper the club really liked, but he of course ended up going to Liverpool. They tried to sign him, but they couldn't because of FFP, allegedly. They're joining now, of course, off to Liverpool. This scenario has now changed the following for Ter Stegen's serious injury and him turning 33 in April. The club had to make a decision regarding the goalkeeper ahead of the 25-26 season if Ter Stegen has a hard time to recover to his maximum level. I think Diogo Costa is a good goalkeeper. Of course, he just had a stinker yesterday against Man United in the Europa League, so not really the best time to cover this. This news, of course, came out about a week ago. If you guys know me, follow me on all socials or watch the live streams, you know I'm a big fan of Emiliano Martinez Dibu, the Aston Villa goalkeeper. I'd rather go for him, but he is 32, so you're spending 50-60 million on him. You're going to get maybe 2-3 years out of him, maybe 4 if you're lucky. Diogo Costa, of course, has way more longevity. I think he's a good goalkeeper. I don't think he's worth the touted quoted price of like 50-60 million. I think he's more so of a 40 million goalkeeper. But I think Barcelona, what they should do is bring in kind of a medium level goalkeeper. Like I saw a lot of people praising the performance of the Lille goalkeeper against Madrid in the Champions League. Someone like that, an unknown name for like 20 million. Bring him in, let him have some competition with Ter Stegen, see if he can grow or not. I'd rather do that than go out and sign a big name goalkeeper, chuck him right in, take the gamble. Because, you know, there's a lot of question marks when Vitor Roque is retiring alongside Pinto, who are Barcelona going to get. They want to sign an experienced goalkeeper in Bravo, youngster in Ter Stegen, and that of course worked out to perfection. Then when Ter Stegen became the veteran, who they bring in, Silson, strong competition. Then Neto, experienced goalkeeper, can push him a little bit. After that, they just kind of trust Ter Stegen forever. So I'm not trying to go down that route, but we'll wait and see what happens in the future of the goalkeeping position. But the main big name player that Barcelona are following in this area is Diogo Costa. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past few weeks. Not that many, just a few updates. Firstly, going to piggyback off the Diogo Costa news in regards to the goalkeeping position. Now, Mateo Henrique came out saying that Barcelona will take a day-by-day approach for Ter Stegen's recovery and reassess at the end of the season. The decision to sign a new goalkeeper depends on how Iñaki Peña and Chelsea perform and Ter Stegen's recovery in the process as well, which that means for now they will delay that decision. And again, we'll have to wait and see how that progression ends up entailing. So again, the club are going to really decide this last second. They're going to, of course, eye goalkeepers in case they do decide to, bin Ter Stegen, bin Szczesny, and bin Iñaki Peña completely. Which, of course, there could be a reality where all three of them leave. I think Szczesny is pretty much guaranteed to leave unless he has a remarkable season. Ter Stegen could probably end up going if he's not fully recovered, maybe to help the club move on, or he could become really a second-choice goalkeeper. Iñaki Peña, if he's not first-choice goalkeeper this season and Szczesny overtakes him, he'll definitely leave in the summer. So there could be a big revamp in the goalkeeper position, which we haven't seen, of course, since 2013 when Valles and Pinto left, and then Ter Stegen, of course, and Bravo came in. Again, it's a big decision which the club had to take very, very carefully, and to be honest, I think it's a very delicate situation as well. I think alongside the pivot, the goalkeeper position on the field is one of the most important in football, so the club had to be very, very cautious in what they decide here. But again, the decision is not expected until the tail end of the season. Now, one player who is keen apparently on a Barcelona exit is Vitor Roque, with Goal coming out saying that Vitor Roque wants to stay at Real Betis permanently after a disappointing spell at Barcelona. Look, this man needs to calm the F down. He's kissing the badge already for Betis, like 3 games in. I've seen now he's played like 5-6 games now for Betis, but apart from his debut goal, which was a tap-in, he's been pretty mid. So I'd relax if I were him. Let the moment continue, and then afterwards assess. I think Barcelona have a big gamble here, and now it looks like Xavi in the end was right with Vitor Roque, and he doesn't look like he's the talent that we all expected from Brazil. The Brazilian Vitor Roque that I saw, I was twerking for him, man. I was saying that he's going to come in, bench Lewandowski and all this stuff, and he's come in and he's been pretty mid. I hope he does well with Betis, but again, right now, this first month and a half of the season, he's been very, very mid. So if I were him, I would say, you know what, perform on the pitch before you start chatting rubbish in the media. So we'll see with Vitor Roque. It all depends on his performances, and if, of course, Betis could extend his loan for another season as well. We might now see Vitor Roque for 2 more years. At Barcelona, the situation is very complicated. It can take so many different turns. So this is very much, an assess based on how things are going situation. Let's now discuss the contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. We have updates on about 8 players in terms of renewals, so let's get crack-a-lack into it and not waste any time whatsoever. Firstly, Christensen. Mateo Morito has come out saying that Barcelona will consider offers for Christensen this summer if he does not renew his contract in the next few months. I believe Christensen's contract is expire in 2026 or 2027, so he's coming, of course, to the tailor end of his contract, and of course the club do want to keep him. Now it's just time for negotiations and offers on both ends. But again, if they don't renew his contract by the end of the season, the club will highly consider offers for him this summer, especially with 2 years left on his deal. They could really benefit with FFP, since of course Christensen came in for free. So keep your eyes on that though, but again, the club do want to keep him. Next contract renewal update is on Monsieur Pedri Porter. For Mr. Germano's come out saying the discussions around a new contract for Pedri are ongoing and everything has been positive so far between the club and the player, and Barcelona are confident of signing the midfielder on a brand new deal sooner rather than later. We also got reports from Mateo Morito coming out saying that Pedri's agent and Barcelona have been in contact recently about a new contract for the midfielder. Barcelona consider him a key part in the future and he wants to keep him. His agent met with Deco the other day to discuss the deal, confirming the important meeting did take place. Both Barcelona and Pedri are happy and he aims to extend his contract with the club. More meetings, of course, are expected in the coming weeks to advance the deal, with Pedri being focused right now at Barcelona despite any outside interest. Also, Gigantes confirmed that Pedri's agent did, of course, meet with Deco at Ciudad Sportiva about a week ago. There have been about 2 contacts since, discussing, of course, the Pedri renewal. The club is very satisfied with Pedri's performances and wanted to keep him working on a new contract, which of course expires in 2026. The meeting, which has lasted for about an hour and a half in the office of Barcelona, has been served as the initial contact. So movements have been made for Pedri. Again, the form he's been doing this season has been exponential. Again, he stays fit. He's one of, if not the best midfielder in the world, so renewing him is important. Again, I would really caution the club on his wage structure. I wouldn't give him a pay increase or a pay decrease. Maybe an increase based on, games being available for, then maybe a decrease in his wages if he gets another serious injury, which again, you cannot hide from the fact that Pedri is injury prone. God forbid he gets any other injury this season, but again, I think the club should be preparing for that, so we'll keep an eye on that. But again, movements are being made for Pedri's renewal. But we do have news on a renewal that has been fully agreed, and that's the renewal of Fermin Lopez, with meCarreira coming out saying the agreement has been reached for the contract renewal of Fermin Lopez on a brand new 5-year deal, but it will not be official until Barcelona reach the 1-1 rule. So full agreement with Fermin Lopez on a brand new 5-year deal contract. Of course, he got a new deal about a year ago in September for his first team contract after doing really well in preseason. Since that year, he's had an unbelievable year, of course, for Barcelona. 10 goals, Spain Olympics, and Spain Euro Championship as well. He's been absolutely fantastic, what a player he is, and of course, a fully deserved renewal, which is now done, agreed, completed, but will not be signed officially until Barcelona return to the 1-1 rule. Next renewal update is on Frenkie de Jong, who of course returned from injury. Before returning from injury, he did an interview with Barca 1 talking about the difficulties of his injury. I will skip it. If you want to pause and read it, go ahead. There is one quote here where he does talk about his salary that I do want to discuss. He was asked on his salary. He said, "Look, it is not true whatsoever that I earn 37 million euros at Barcelona a year. It is a very big figure, and it's a long way off from what I really do earn." It's been very consistent from Frenkie de Jong and his entourage about his wages in the media not being correct whatsoever. They say 40 million, 37 million, 30. He's come out multiple times saying that it's not true in Barca 1 interviews, in interviews last season, in the press conference ahead of the Napoli game, and then round 16 he said the same thing as well. He called out the media for discouraging his contract, trying to leak it, so all these things like that. So when he said this in the interview, there were more leaks. Sport came out saying that it is true that Frenkie de Jong is not the highest paid player at Barcelona. He does not earn 37 million euros. He actually earns around 19 million euros fixed plus 4.2 in variables, totaling to around 23 million euro annually, 11.5 net, which is around about 180k a week. Now, if Frenkie de Jong is going from 700k a week, according to the media, to 180k a week, madre mia. I mean, again, no one knows what the players earn. We hear rumors and stuff like that. That's all just guesswork. It's all just estimation, maybe around the ballpark of what he earns. The report also says that right now Lewandowski is the highest paid player in the team with 32 million gross annual salary. Of course, that's going to be half net wise due to the taxing in Spain. So apparently Frankie's on 180k a week. I don't know, man. I don't know. Who cares what he earns? The reality is all I care about is how he performs on the pitch for Barcelona. Now on a renewal, of course, which is what the update is about, Miguel Rico came out saying that Frankie de Jong has, of course, a renewal offer on the table now for months of Barcelona, which will have to be, it will have a little bit of a decrease in his salary, but it's still yet to respond. If the situation does not change, he'll automatically be placed on the transfer market, which of course is expected. So again, Frankie de Jong, renewal offer on the table, still no answer from him, and the same exact situation as well for Ronald Araujo. So hopefully the club have to really make advancements on renewals before the summer. I mean, from now to the summer, I don't really care about transfer news. I want renewal news. Frankie, Araujo, Fermin, Pedri, Gavi as well, who has a contract until 2026. We have a lot of key players that all their contracts expire in one, year, which the club really have to sort out soon. So again, with Frankie, no real update in terms of renewal, and again, his salary apparently wide of the mark according to rumors. Next update. Lamine Yamal. Mateo Marito has come out saying that Lamine Yamal's current contract with Barcelona runs until 2026, with the option to extend, of course, for 2 more years, while the maximum allowed for the player under 18 is 3. While this gives the club some sort of security, the club wants to secure a longer deal with the Lamine Yamal to make him a key part for the future. They aim to ensure that he's satisfied both with the contract and his relationship with the club. Of course, following his rise as well over the past year, there's been a lot of reports that he wants to get, a brand new contract. He's the face of Barcelona. He's playing unbelievably well. So he wants kind of, an improvement on his contract, and the club will have no problem obliging to that. Fabrizio Romano also came out saying that PSG internally considered to make an offer of around 200 million euros for Lamine Yamal. However, they never materialized into an official bid or negotiation. Barcelona and Yamal have no interest in entertaining any talks with any other club. Yamal is considered an untouchable player for Barcelona's project, and he's extremely happy at the club. For Barcelona, Yamal is a crucial player for the future, and they see him as the face of the new project. Lamine Yamal also did some TV interviews saying that he'll never play for any other team other than Barcelona. He'll stay for Barcelona forever. Blah blah blah. I say blah 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 because I hear that all the time. I see players leave, which again I hope that's not the case for Lamine Yamal. But again, getting him on a new contract will be nice as well. But again, there's no real rush because the club do have a lot of security with his contract. He still has about 3 or 4 years left on it in total. Now we have some renewal updates and kind of the B team players around Barcelona. Firstly, he who must not be named is getting a fucking 4-year extension because Hansi Flick likes him. I cannot be asked. I understand. Okay, so Jordan Martin has a contract right now with Barcelona until 2025. So this summer he can go for free. In January he can speak to any club in the world, leave for free. Hopefully he does. The club are going to give him a 4-year contract renewal. Again, right here what it says here from Gabriel Sanz, simply because Hansi Flick is key in his future. Someone needs to ask Flick in a press conference what the hell he sees in Jordan Martin, because apart from his big ears and his crap pace and his crap intelligence, I have no idea what he provides for Barcelona. He is very, very close to being the worst player I have witnessed with my eyes play for Barcelona, and I've seen some right stinkers, lad. I have been through the mill. I have seen some howlers. He is up there. I don't understand it. I guess you want to retain your value. I would, if it was like a 2-year deal, a 1-year extension, 1+1, I wouldn't bat an eye. But the fact it's a fucking 4-year deal, I don't know, bruv. I don't know. But again, he's probably gonna renew, and we'll wait to see what happens in this future. Next up, Unai Hernandez, one of the top, La Masia and Barca Athletic players. Gigantes came out saying that Barcelona Unai Hernandez agents have reactivated contract negotiations on his renewal, which of course ends in 2025. There was meetings, of course, the other day. They expected the contract will be taking place at the end of the year. The truth is that once he renews, he'll be part of the first team dynamics, and there is no rush from either party right now. Gabriel Sanz also confirmed this as well, saying that Unai Hernandez's contract currently expires in 2025, and Barcelona recently resumed contacts with his entourage, with everything being expected to be resolved in the coming weeks. He had offers in the summer, but Paris continuing at Barcelona, and Hansi Flick contemplates having him as part of the first team. Again, very good winger. He's done very well at Barca Athletic. Of course, started in the Clasico in preseason, put in a good shift, to be fair to him. So he's a very, very good young player, and we'll see how his future entails at Barcelona. Next renewal update is on Pau Prim. This is probably the most negative news we do have on renewal updates. Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that Pau Prim's future at Barcelona remains uncertain. His contract currently ends in June 2025, and despite talks between the club and his agents, they have not been able to reach any agreement over a renewal yet. He is represented by the same agency as Marc Guiu. Wow. How convenient. Look, the reason why Pau Prim has never been involved with the first team at Barcelona, how when we had all the injuries to Bernal and stuff like that, he never came in, was because he is not renewing his contract. It's also the reason why he did not go with the first team to preseason as well. Of course, last season, Balde and Yamal were not going to go to preseason until they renewed. They both renewed. They both went on preseason. Prim's in that same situation. He did not end up renewing his contract, and that's why he's not really being involved with the first team too much. You can tell he doesn't train with the first team. He's not in squad lists. Nothing like that whatsoever, because he's not committed his future to Barcelona. So we'll see how this entails for the future. But the final update on renewals is, another positive one on the line of Fermin Lopez, another done deal, and that is in regards to Marc Bernal. The club released an official statement a few days ago saying that Barcelona and Marc Bernal have reached an agreement to adjust his contract, which will bind the club until June 2026 when his time as a youth player ends, and then there'll be an additional 3 more years on top of that with a new release clause of 500 million euros. Again, the reason why the club have done this to back him during his ACL recovery, and also because a lot of clubs want to activate his 20 million euro renewal, but Bernal said no. That's why he needed a renewal with Barcelona soon to increase, of course, his release clause. So Bernal committed for Barcelona for at least the next 3 or 4 years. Again, fantastic news, and of course wish him a speedy recovery. And those are all the renewal updates around Barcelona. So hopefully some big news coming up in the next few weeks in regards to Frankie, Araujo, Pedri, and maybe even Yamal as well. And we also have some updates in regards to the future of some Barcelona first team players and B team players as well, besides some of the renewals. First up is Inigo, with Gentes coming out saying that Inigo Martinez, if he plays 45 minutes for at least 60% of the games this season, his renewal will automatically take place, and the clause is, of course, in his contract. We talked about this a lot pre-summer and post-summer a little bit as well. At this rate, he probably will get that automatic extension, and can you blame him? He's been absolutely sensational for Barcelona, alongside the captain for Barcelona a lot over the past month or so, Raphinha. Fabrizio Romano and meCarreira both have confirmed that he has had multiple offers to leave Barcelona over the past few years, and he said no because he wants to succeed at this club, and that he's now in line to get a contract renewal as well. He's very much in the same position as Andreas Christensen. I think his contract also expires around 2027 as well. Same with Jules Koundé. So all the signs that we had during that, peak summer of 2022, they're all coming now to the end. Lewandowski, Christensen, Koundé, Raphinha, they all need renewals now very, very soon. I think the club should focus now firstly on Frankie, Araujo, Gavi, Pedri. Then that next bulk will be Koundé, Raphinha, and maybe Christensen as well, a little bit as well. So shout out to Rafa. Hopefully he does get a renewal. He's been absolutely sensational. So we'll wait and see what happens in regards to his future. Next update is on Pablo Torre, with Alex Pentel, Mateo Merito from Renewal coming out saying that Girona, Betis, and Mallorca were very interested in Pablo Torre in the summer. At the beginning of August, Barcelona told them they were counting on him after he talked with Hansi Flick. The coach made it clear that he would be difficult for him to get a place in the first team, but again, he had total confidence in the player. Flick informed him that he wanted him to be in the team and that he would have chances. Torre was clear that his objective was to convince Hansi Flick and stay in the first team. He knew he wouldn't have it easy, but he accepted the challenge because his dream is to succeed at Barcelona. With the busy schedules and many absences, he will, of course, get his chances, as we did expect. Of course, I think he's a fantastic player. I do worry about his minutes once Fermin Lopez, Dani, Olmo, Frankie's now back, Gavi's going to be back in the team soon. Once they all come back, we will probably never see for Pablo Torre. He might, I think, go out on loan in January, perhaps. If I'm him, I just ride the storm, honestly, because we have all of our players are really, Dani almost injury prone. Poor Fermin Lopez is on the verge of being injury prone after being rinsed for minutes last season. Gavi's just coming back from an ACL. Pedri's also injury prone. Frankie's, one tackle on his ankle away, being out for another 6 months. So I would say if I were him, but again, his minutes will be very, very deteriorated over the next few weeks for sure once the players recover from their injuries. And final future update is on Noah Darvik, a player that we thought that would really thrive under Hansi Flick, especially with him being German. We have not really seen much of him in the first team. We barely even saw him in preseason. His future is a bit questionable. Now, Gentes have come out saying that Noah Darvik name was also being discussed in recent meetings between Deco and Hector Perez, who of course is the leader broke of sports group, who was there speaking with Barcelona in regards to other renewals for first team and B team players. Despite his lack of playing time, Darvik is very happy in Barcelona and is eager to show his potential. Many clubs have shown interest in signing him for some time, but the player has always shown a good attitude and has focused on demonstrating his game. I don't think he's made a first team debut yet. Again, he was a very promising signing last summer, but now hopefully with Barca, I think he can really grow and get some minutes, and maybe he can knock on the door in the first team. This is why I think Pablo Torre's future could be in the air, because you have players like this in the B team that you can rely upon. Una Hernandez can play in the 10 as well. So we'll see what happens with Noah Darvik. But again, a year and a little bit after his signing, he still hasn't shown the world to light in Barcelona quite yet. Let's then discuss some of the injury updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, on Gavi, Fernando Polo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona has marked 2 matches for Gavi's return. If his evolution is very good, then it would be against Sevilla on October 20th. And if the club want him to return with the maximum calmness, then it should be against Espanyol on the 2nd or 3rd of November. Barca, of course, face Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, in between those 2 fixtures, but they don't prioritize his return in such demanding matches. So either he comes back against Sevilla, or he'll come back after Bayern and Real Madrid. So again, with Gavi, I take your time with it. I wouldn't really want to see him until November. I think his injury was on November 20th of last year, somewhere like that. If I'm not mistaken, I think I'm probably, of course, I don't think I got the date right, but hopefully he does, of course, come back with 1000% recovered, nothing rushed, anything like that. Alex Mantel from Renewal also came out saying that Gavi has been pushing himself harder in recent training sessions as the chances of return is coming closer. He feels prepared to compete again, but the club and Hansi Flick don't want to take any risks and rush him back onto the field. Gavi no longer feels any pain or discomfort when playing. Despite Gavi's return this week to training, some members of the coaching staff are more cautious. They want to build up the training time, especially since they have been there's going to be a break for the international break after the match against Young Boys in Alaves. It's still unclear exactly when Gavi will return. It's very unlikely he'll play before the international break, of course, though if it were up to him, he'd already be in the squad list. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Even De La Peña, Gavi's agent, has been a crucial figure in his recovery, offering trusted advice throughout the process. Having retired early due to the injuries, De La Peña has overseen Gavi's rehabilitation from the start. After the international break, Barca faced a demanding week against Sevilla, Bayern, Real Madrid. Gavi could be one of those players coming back. I hate this persona, by the way, that we have a tough week against coming back after the international break. We have a tough week and a half. We have Sevilla, Bayern, Real Madrid. Then we have the derby. People keep forgetting about this derby. We're going to have Real Madrid, of course. We had a week off, and then it's the freaking twats down the road that we got to go and clap up. So don't forget about that as well. That's also a very, very important game, which I do not want to lose whatsoever. But yes, Gavi should take his time, and we'll wait and see when he does return. Next injury update is on Dani Olmo. Marca reporting that he should be 100% fully fit, ready to go post-international break. He should be in that squad list for Sevilla. 20 minutes against them, maybe start against Bayern Munich, and maybe start in the Clasico as well, which of course is fantastic news. When he got injured against Girona, that is what we wanted to hear. 100% recovered post-international break, and he's on track for that as well. Finally, injury update on Frenkie de Jong. Of course, he's gotten the green light, but what's the plan now for him? Franco Ross came out saying the Hansi Flick staff has designed a plan for Frenkie de Jong. He will have minutes against Alaves on Sunday, and then during the international break, he'll work back to get up 100%, and expect that he will be able to play 90 minutes after the international break. It is ruled out, of course, that he will be going to the Dutch national team, as Koeman did not have him in the call-up list. So he's not really 100% quite yet. They're basically saying that he's at around 90%, but having the match playing, getting back on the pitch, feeling the rhythm and stuff like that will be very important for him. But post-international break, Sevilla, Bayern, Real, Espanyol, he will be able to play 90 minutes. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past few weeks. We do have some big updates around the club. Firstly, a little Deco project here. He wants to build a residence for the Barcelona squad at the Ciutat Esportiva Joan Gamper, because currently the squad does not have any nearby hotel, but Deco prefers a private hotel for the squad. This project has been approved by the president. A suitable location next to Ciutat Esportiva is being searched because there is no space inside. The project would be put on the end of the practice of the players directly coming to the stadium from their homes. They would arrive at the residence on the morning of matches, concentrated there, have their lunch there, and spend time together, according to Renewal. Honestly, decent idea from Deco, because again, the players come so late from at their home, they have to go and travel to certain stadiums and stuff like that, so it's just easy for them to stay at the sports city for the night. That way they can all leave in the morning, no rush, no quorums, nothing like that. It'll help them, of course, with their recovery and concentration as well. Decent shout out Deco for that. We'll wait and see if anything does materialize, but the idea is approved. It's now down to logistics. Again, not really a priority for Barcelona. We have other priorities right now, but again, good little project to keep your eyes on for in the future. But the big project right now, of course, at Barcelona is the Espai Barca project. Now, Catalonia Radio are saying that some board members say that during the meeting with the socios that the new Espai account might not be ready to host matches before Christmas, and that February looks more realistic to target as of right now. I've been saying this for about a year. I do not think we'll come back this year. I think we'll come back around February, end of January, when we reach the round 16, or God forbid, round 32 of the Champions League. I don't think we'll be ready by December 22nd against Atletico Madrid. That match might even be played in Miami in the US. They're still looking at that as well. If the stadium is ready by then, fantastic. If it's not, no crumb. We've already missed the anniversary deadline, so as long as we come back to the stadium this season, I'll be cool. Of course, pre-Clasico as well, the second game later on when we do have the home game. We want to, of course, get out of the Montjuïc. We're paying rent at the Montjuïc. We want to get out of there as soon as possible. Now, Fan Cross Sport also came out saying that after receiving permission from the Barcelona City Council a few weeks ago to extend some working hours for the Spotify Camp Nou, the club now faces a new problem: finding workers to do the job. To work more hours, they need to hire new workers, and since there aren't enough available in Catalonia, they have to look for workers from other regions. This involves, of course, paperwork and visas and stuff like that to be able to legally work in Spain. So that the club are trying to assess, bring in new people as well to work on the stadium and have it done as quickly and as effectively as possible. Of course, all these updates will be made at the General Assembly. The date is now official. It will be on October 19th, which is, of course, before we come back from the international break. That is the day before the Sevilla match. We come back on Sevilla October 20th, day before, after probably Hansi Flick's press conference and stuff like that. That's when the General Assembly will be taking place. Again, everything will be discussed there. Final figures of the financial year, Espai Barca, future plans, signings, renewals, all this stuff will be discussed in the General Assembly. It'll be like a 10-hour assembly, so I'll, of course, provide you guys the updates in the coming week as well. That's going to be a brutal video. Anyways, more updates around FFP. Kind of stuff come out. João Laporta is set to travel to Madrid in the next few weeks to hold a face-to-face meeting with Javier Tebas to really discuss the situation right now for Barcelona returns to the 1-1 rule and how they can return to it as soon as possible. Of course, the main thing there will be around the renewal with Nike. Now, a few days ago, delegates of Nike were caught at the Ciudad Esportiva Joan Gamper having a meeting with Barcelona. This is all confirmed, of course, by the media. You can see the video as well that was leaked by Gigantes, and everything came out saying that Barcelona are now trying to finalize the Nike deal. Following this meeting, Javier Tebas spoke in the media, I think the day after, saying that Barcelona are very close now to return to 1-1 rule. I hope they can reach it before January. The renewal of Nike will help them a lot. Barcelona are not in a bad situation now, because as much as people think. When Laporta first took charge, they were at negative 500 million losses and had a salary of 600 million euros as well. So again, the work that Laporta has done has been nothing short of incredible, and now we've gotten the report that the deal is close. Fernando Polo from Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona is now finalizing the deal with Nike, which included the improvement terms and significant financial boost exceeding 100 million euros annually. The verbal agreement is closed and is set to be formalized after the members' General Assembly on October 19th. Barcelona will also receive a renewal bonus to help comply with La Liga's 1-1 rule player registration. The new contract figures are already part of the 24-25 season budget as well. Negotiations have included Nike's desire in acquiring a portion of Barcelona's licensing and merchandising BLM, though no action has been taken on this yet. So he's now reporting that there is a verbal agreement reached. Now it's time for paperwork, reviewing everything, and of course signing everything as well. So again, these numbers, I think Laporta will definitely talk about this at the General Assembly. There are reports saying that this deal will not be done in October. We're now looking at November, because again, the deal is so complicated, it's so big, but now there is a general agreement, which of course is the most important thing. So we'll tune in for that. Now, in regards to Nike, just to let it off this section, we do have two news in regards to Barcelona kits. Firstly, of course, El Clasico is coming up, so you do know there will be a sponsor, and the sponsor is confirmed. It is effing Coldplay, lads! Oh, they're gonna be, oh my god. This is probably the biggest one for the Barcelona fans, because, you know, Coldplay has a special place in the Barcelona's heart. You know, Viva La Vida is basically a second anthem for Barcelona, so Coldplay will be the sponsor. Of course, it was Drake. We lost with Drake. It was then Motomami, Rosalia. We won in that kit. Then last season was Rolling Stone. We lost. And then Carlo G. We lost. So our record with these sponsored kits for Spotify has been shite. We're 1 for 4. So hopefully it becomes 2 for 5 after this. But this is going to be a very, very cool one. Again, the design is unknown. You can see with the one that Yamal is wearing there on the right hand side. That is the most likely design, but the official design has not been confirmed quite yet. But Coldplay is said to be the 5th Spotify sponsor Clasico inclusion for Barcelona. Again, Coldplay are massive Barcelona fans. The Barcelona fan base and players love them, so this is a big one for everyone. Now, speaking on the kit, the home kit for next season, the 25-26, has been leaked at a 70% probability. Here it is. It's going to be, vectors with, kind of a shade in the middle, kind of, blending between the colors. Honestly, I don't think it's that bad. I think it looks pretty good. Again, the sleeves are so annoying. I'd rather have one sleeve all red, one sleeve all blue. Like, especially with the Barca logo is have that all blue, with the Nike one is have that all red. I'd rather they do that than have it, like, opposite. But it looks pretty good. Again, this is only like 70% of what it looks like. We're still waiting for official confirmation and stuff like that. But now, of course, is the moment to decide your design for next season after the the new season starts. But very good design. I do like it. Of course, this season doesn't touch it. I think it's better than the definitely better than the one last season where we won trophyless. Definitely better than the one that we had the double with Xavi. So this is another fantastic kit by Nike. So credit to them. We'll wait and see what the final official design looks like. But this is kind of the first mock-up that we do have. Of course, in the comments down below, let me hear your thoughts on the design. Now, some other news that we do have is around Hansi Flick and his incorporation and impact alongside his staff as well at Barcelona. Now, Gentes have come out saying that several players have been surprised by how involved Hansi Flick is. He often calls the players daily to check on their fitness, ask about their recovery from injuries, or simply to see how they're doing. In fact, during the promotion playoffs for Barca Athletic, Flick called the players involved in the first team to encourage them, even though they lost in the final against Cordoba. He took the opportunity to congratulate them on the great season and have his first phone call with the young players. Hansi Flick knows that his players aren't friends, and he doesn't, try to be that, but he's always made sure that he is their strong sense of unity within the locker room, something that seems to be achieved so far this season. Flick also spends most of his days in the office at the training center, which has become his, bunker. Interestingly, mainly fans who come to greet the players wonder why Flick's leaving but never entering. The truth is that Flick arrives very early in the morning, sometimes 3 or 4 hours before training, and then no fans are waiting outside at that point. While most players rush out of the main entrance, sometimes even running red lights to avoid crowds, Flick quickly exits through the back door. The club even gave him the car that Xavi used to own, but instead of driving straight home, he circles around the train center and parks near the main entrance where you can go out to autograph with fans. One time he said, "Don't be following the cars, it's dangerous." It's always, stopping at the sidewalk to sign for you. Flick told the fans the other day. So Flick and cooperation has been fantastic. Again, it's all just pure glazing. We heard the same thing with Coleman, with Xavi, with Setien, with Valverde. I've seen it all, but again, what I care about is when we hit February, where we're at, how many trophies have we won, how good we're looking in the League Cup, and of course, UCL. All this stuff is just logistics for me. Now, on his staff, of course, we are expecting the return in the new year of your boy, Thiago Alcantara. Fernando Martinez from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Thiago Alcantara will return to Barcelona in January. He had to go back in England due to some tax-related issues. Even now, his communication with Hansi Flick is total, and he also takes part in staff meetings through video conferences as well. So he's still a little bit involved. Fabrizio Romano also came out saying that I expect Thiago to rejoin Flick's staff. We'll see when, but it's very concrete, strong possibility. He really enjoyed the helpfulness, and he already was in the summer from a tactical point of view, the relationship with the players, and also with the language as well. So again, as expected, we know that Thiago is going to come for a month, leave, maybe come back. We know that maybe it's becoming a for sure he will return at some point in the new year. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past few weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, in the comments down below as well, let me hear your thoughts on anything we discussed. The main thing, firstly, of course, is your thoughts on the superstar signing. Who should it be? Thoughts on the goalkeeper position. What would you do? On renewals, are you confident or not confident? And find your thoughts around the Nike deal in regards to the new kit design for next season. And also the Coldplay sponsor for the El Clasico as well. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.
Yeah.